play basketball.
3,000! History with an exclamation!
Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down, and the game is tied. Rockies are champions of baseball.
Okay, well, that's the wrong screen there. Hello, everybody. That was fun. I don't know what happened in that locker room. Maybe Brown and Cat mended fences. Maybe that players only meeting that I put quotations and mark worked. Whatever it was, more of that, please. Because that was fun. And you can always count. On those Brooklyn Nets. The city's under new management. We're never going to forget that. Thank you to the Nets for just being absolute punching bags for the last, I don't know, billions and billions of seasons. They've been shit forever. So thank you. Because you can always rely on you absolute losers for a nice get-right rebound game. 13 games in a row now, is that, where the Knicks have beaten the Nets? I believe it's 13 in a row. But 13 is a much smaller number. Ugh. It's a much smaller number than, 56 points? 54 points? The Knicks beat the Nets 120-66 last night. So whatever that is, it is the most in, I believe, franchise history and the most differential this season. So that was the way to respond. You're going to get your people saying you should beat the Nets like this. No, you shouldn't. No team in the NBA should lose by 60 points. That's a joke. They needed to do exactly what they did. And then they went out and did much more than what they should have done. I don't think I worded that right. You get the point. The Knicks did more than they needed to. And that's what you wanted to see. Listen. Any sane Knicks fan who doesn't have what I call Twitter brain rot knows that, the season was never over. It just made the bad things a lot louder when they were losing. And those bad things still remain. But for as bad as the season has gone, or for as bad as it has come to, you still look up and the Knicks are in the mix still to get a top 2 seed if they do some more winning. Because the Eastern Conference, whether it's the 2 teams ahead of them or the number of teams below them, not impressed. So they're still in it. But yeah, it was fun last night because the Knicks got back to themselves at the Garden. After getting booed during that Dallas game. Sure, they were embarrassed. But again, they did what they had to do. The defense, I thought, locked in. We'll talk about that in this show. I thought their offense immediately went back to the same principles that Brown's been asking for and that the Knicks were using earlier in the season. Right? Constant pace. They were into the half court 21, 22 seconds consistently. That allows you to flow from one action to another, which you saw plenty of. They were touching the paint to get those spray threes. Player movement, ball movement. They were spacing Cat out, letting him and the Knick guards go to work. And they were getting to all of that type of offense because of the way that the Nets were defending the Knicks. And I think that's where I want to start here on episode 976 of the show. So we're going to get to a quick break and then get right started when we return. Stay with us.
Quick break here, guys. Stay connected with BD4 on social media. Follow us on Instagram and X at BD4Pod, and find us on Facebook by searching BD4. Don't miss out. Join the conversation. Want more BD4? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss an episode. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and share with your fellow fans. Don't forget to ring that bell so you're always the first to know when a new video drops.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Yes, shout out to the Brooklyn Nets, because the Nets will forever be the Nets, and they will be incompetent zombies out there. Because they're so incompetent, the Knicks were able to, despite putting the same starting lineup out there with Josh Hart, they were able to take advantage of it still, because the Nets still had Claxton on Cat. They were not cross-matching. Cat didn't always see a wing. Hart didn't always have the big. Nope, for the majority of this game, if not all, Cat had Claxton. And the Knicks were able to take advantage of that the entire night last night. Right out the gate, the first basket of the game for New York, it's a blind pig they run. They used to run that a lot with iHeart. They run blind pig, Cat's up top on the pinch post to draw Claxton out of the paint. It starts out at the very top of the set. Hart's got ball on the empty side wing. Over on the other side of the floor, OG is spaced out on the opposite corner to remove help from the lane. Cat is stationed up top at the middle of the floor. You have Brunson, who comes off a Bridges pin down weak side, curls off of Cat, gets denied on the first curl. Really good ball pressure. So Hart hits Cat up top as the second option. Brunson, as the blind pig, immediately recurls off Cat's screen back toward the other side again. Cat makes a nice screen, solid bump to put Brunson's man behind the play. Brunson makes a back cut into the paint with his man chasing on the trail. The paint's now wide open with only a small able to step up late to Brunson, because you had Claxton having to worry about Cat as a shooting threat up top. He's not in the paint. And then you had one of their wings, I think it was Clowney, again, had to worry about OG as a shooting threat on the strong corner. He couldn't send help, so the paint's open. Cat hits Brunson on the cut. Brunson finishes with a short jump shot in front of the basket. Again, that is taking advantage of the Nets putting the big on Cat by drawing Claxton out of the paint. And a couple of minutes later, it's a Brunson Cat empty side pick and roll to switch Claxton off Cat and put Brunson's man on Cat and take advantage of that. You had a nice job. It was a nice read by Brunson, seeing the potential mismatch there. They run pick and roll. Brunson kicks the ball out to Hart, who's on the weak wing. But Hart immediately recognizes that Cat is posting a switch, feeds him he just feeds him really quickly to prevent the scram switch, to keep that matchup intact. After the pass, Brunson very smartly spaces out a little deeper behind the three-point arc, because his shooting gravity is now going to pull Claxton up and out of the paint. We'll talk more on Brunson's gravity in a bit. And so, with no post help available, Cat seals the mismatch and finishes at the basket. Again, that's taking advantage of Claxton being on Cat by getting the switch off of pick and roll. Great job. And then a bit after that, they were heavy with it in the first quarter. Yet another action with Cat on the pinch post to draw Claxton out of the paint. Cat's got ball. He's on the left wing three-point line. Hart curls off Cat to put his man behind the play off of Cat's screen. Cat hits Hart on the back cut into the paint with nobody to help. You had Brunson's man who had to stick to him on the weak wing. You had OG and McHale. Their men couldn't send strong side rim help because they were also threats. So just good offense there. And then I think Cat was 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. Both of the threes that he made, you had Claxton just kind of naturally sagging off or not tight enough in the first quarter. It's a baseline out of bounds. Cat screens off Mikal, but they double Mikal off the screen. Cat pops. Claxton's late to get back. Knocks down another 3 in the second quarter. Just you have Claxton sagging off him as Cat spots up. So, and speaking of Cat's 3-point shot, you saw gravity here. Early in the third quarter, it's another possession with Cat up top to draw Claxton out of the paint. Hart's got the ball in transition on the right wing. Cat's the trailer, 1 pass away. He's slightly to Hart's left. OG cuts to the basket on the opposite slot of Hart, so he's next to the left of Cat. Claxton sees Cat open and next to Hart with the ball. So he immediately, if you watch this, he immediately just like a quick step up to cover him. Just steps up to cover him to make sure he doesn't get the shot off. And it was just enough room for OG to make a back cut right behind him into an open paint. Hart goes to OG for a finish. That's the threat as Cat as a 3-point shooter. Just Claxton seeing that he was slightly open, has to step up. Now OG can cut behind. But I don't want to keep going, through possession after possession. But it was all night long. It was all night long where the Knicks were able to take advantage of this matchup through not just Cat, but everyone else because he had the big on him. So thank you to the Nets for not cross-matching Hart and Cat, you bums. But, I do want to give a shout-out to Josh Hart. I thought he was the best Knick among the first unit last night. Guy was fantastic. 10 game balls now in the season for Josh Hart. 5 as a starter, 5 as a reserve. 11 points, 5 for 5 from the field. 1 out of 1 on his threes. 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Gets a steal, plus 19 in the box score across 25 minutes. He was awesome. Again, able to play his game. Did his thing, pushing the pace, all that stuff. The rebounding was good. The defense was good in the pick and roll. So a good Josh Hart game. Hopefully you continue to get more of that. And we go to the second unit, and I think you got to shout out Landry Shamet, who now has 4 game balls on the year. But 18 points for Shamet, 6 out of 6 on his threes, 2 steals, a block, plus 23, 15 minutes. He was awesome. Fighting over screens, knocking down shots. I mean, he was hitting corners. He was hitting transition threes. He had a nice step back in the second half along the corner. Really good offense from him. 6 out of 6 is awesome. He's just been so important to them. And it's nice to have him back. It's his first real standout game since he's been back. So you just hope that shoulder is healthy. And, that's something that's bothered him in his career. And with a release point like that, you hope it doesn't get bad. But he looked good. But, yeah, we mentioned Jalen Brunson's gravity briefly. And for those, I don't know if you don't know what gravity is, basically it's how much a player forces defenders to guard them. And that opens up space for your teammates to get offense. And I thought Jalen Brunson's gravity, it's noticeable every game, but really in this one, you saw it both as a shooter and on drives. I don't want to go through every single possession of the game, but there were a couple I loved. In the first Shamet. So Shamet, he knocks it. It's at the end of the first quarter. It's at the very end of the first quarter, like the final minute. Shamet knocks down back-to-back threes. The first one, Brunson's got the ball on the right wing. Shamet's on the weak wing. Shamet's defender helps off him, brings gap help to Brunson's drive. Brunson makes that read, hits a wide open Shamet for a catch and shoot. It's the attention that Brunson commands. And then the second Shamet 3, the back-to-back one, Brunson's got ball again in transition. He's on the right side of the court, taking it up. Shamet locates to the weak corner. He's on the other side. Brunson drives again, collapses help to the restricted area. Because of that, Shamet's open. Brunson makes the read, kicks to a wide open Shamet for a corner. I thought that was a really good sequence to just display not only Shamet's shooting, but Jalen Brunson's gravity, both as a shooter and as a guy who can attack on the dribble drive. So really good offense created from Brunson. I thought the defensive attentiveness was a real good takeaway from this game. I mean, the Nets scored 66 points. Everybody looked bought in. Everybody looked connected. Looked like they were playing like they were bought into the system. I thought their screen navigation as a collective was excellent. I thought OG was good. I thought, again, Hart was good in the pick and roll. Shamet was fighting through the top of screens very well. Probably the best of the night there. I thought Cat did a real nice job in drop coverage. Mitch continues to look good on defense. He was very active on ball screens when he was in high coverage. Did well at the rim, too. Brunson looked good. Didn't have any problems really with him. The two wingstop guys look good. And, one of the Knicks' issues all year has been they do a lot of overhelping and they'll commit to a full blitz. And there's a lot of teams who can exploit that with shooters on the floor. I thought they didn't blitz a ton in this game, but when they did bring a blitz, they made perfectly clean backside rotations to take away every single outlet. And there was just a blueprint example of that. I want to go back to the middle of the second quarter. The Nets, they run DHO with Claxton and Porter. The Knicks blitz it with Mitch and McHale, but they rotate very well on the backside. OG tags the roll off the blitz. He comes off the weak side. Deuce peels from the corner to the wing off the weak side pass. Mitch, he recovers to the roll. So as he does that, OG now can close back to the corner, closes out, contests a miss on the corner off the second swing. Really good communication, good connectivity, good chemistry, just knowing where the guys are going to be. That was just a perfect example of that. So loved the offense, loved the defense. Not too much to add. I don't want to drag this episode on. It's the Nets. You need to see the Knicks string together some more wins here just to have confidence again that they've snapped out of it. But I do think they can. So with that said, we'll get to our break one final time, and then we'll get back and wrap this thing up by talking about who's up next on the schedule and then get to our trivia. Stay with us. Back in a sec.
Love BD4 but don't have the time to sit down and watch? Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify so you never miss an episode. And if you're enjoying the show, leave us a 5-star rating and a quick review. It helps us grow and keeps the conversation going.
All right, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to episode 976 of BD4. We're talking Knicks Nets. Yeah, it was a fun win. It was a good win. But up next, the Knicks have a little bit of a tougher opponent. They're off today and they're off tomorrow to travel. But they will be back out there on Saturday in Philadelphia. So, obviously, that's a team that's given them tough times of late. But it's a team the Knicks are capable of beating and should beat, to be honest. What am I looking for in that game? Pick and roll defense. It will be tested. Obviously, that burnt you last time. Just getting exploited on the weak side when they were in high coverage, kind of like we just talked about. How they did well against the Nets. But yeah, that Maxey Embiid pick and roll, even those VJ Edgecombe actions, that's going to be tough. So they have to be much cleaner there. It's going to be a good, fun game. It should be. But I will be paying attention to that. Just how they handle those blitzes and high coverage on that second side. Got to rotate in the back. So that is it. We can wrap this one up now with our trivia question of the day. And that question is, Who were the only two Hall of Famers to play for both the Knicks and Nets? Okay, who are the two Hall of Famers to play for both the Knicks and Nets? Let me know the answer wherever you can reach me. If you get the answer correct, I'll give you a shout out in the next show in front of all two of our listeners. No, but I do appreciate anybody who does comment, follow along, subscribe, watch, listen, all that stuff. I do try to react and or interact with you guys, but I don't do this for traffic. I just do it because I enjoy it and I make a little scuttle on the side. So I appreciate you all for tuning in, and I will see you in the next show. Go Knicks. Hey guys, thank you for listening to BD4. Be sure to follow us on social media, subscribe to us on YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time.